Shop HQ and Isomers skincare, and we're going to talk about something very special. So I'm just going to start up. I started a little bit a minute or so early so that we can all get settled in. We can have, have our water or tea or coffee ready, and we can have a little bit of a chit chat, which would be really, really great. And we're going to talk about something near and dear to our heart, which is our body, which is our skin, which is everything that we love about ourselves and Isomers skincare. Summertime is here. In the summertime, what do? As soon as we go out, and then it's too hot. Like this is a typical Canadian type of mentality, right? We're freezing all winter long. We wait for the summertime. As soon as the summertime comes, air conditioning comes on. We stay inside because it's too hot outside. And then when we do go outside, everything is too heavy on us. So we want to actually take all our clothes off, or we're just really things that are light, things that are comfortable. But then we start looking at our skin and we don't love what we see because we spent all year covering it up. And here is where we can do it differently. And here is where we can make a big difference in our daily skincare routine so that we're ready for anything. It doesn't matter what month it is. It doesn't matter what we're up to. It just matters that we're ready and that we are happy with our skin. So what we're going to talk about today is a very special duo that we've put together for you. And we put it together for you because I think that, today I was looking at some questions and comments that people, we get a lot. I mean, a lot of questions. And I love it. But today it just dawned on me that, well, I guess it's happened to me many times, but today in particular it dawned on me that someone was talking about the fact that they've been using something, and they're in the Philippines, and they were using something, and they said, I'm using it religiously, not our brand, and this problem hasn't gone away. And I'm like, well, what else are you doing? Well, that's it. That's all I'm doing. So they're not using a routine. They have no routine. So it's like, I just inserted this one thing and I expect this one thing to do it all. Can you imagine if you expected just one thing, one type of food or one cleaning product or one tool to do everything, that you didn't have different things or a routine? Can you imagine making a recipe with just one ingredient? That would just be eating the thing, right? It's not even a recipe. So in skincare, we want to put a routine together. In skincare, we want to put things together so then you can get better results. And when we're talking about the body, and I think it's very interesting too, because people are losing weight, gaining weight, our bodies are changing. So there's a few things going on. We're perishable, so we're aging, and our weight changes, so our skin is stretching and contracting, stretching and contracting. And what happens over time is you get that wiggly wobbly skin. So what do? What do I do for my bust line? What do I do for my belly? What do I do for my hips, my thighs, abdomen, all of those areas? I do a dynamic duo. And this dynamic duo is very important because this dynamic duo is what we want to do. We want to be able to use this. So what we've done here is we have put together a very, very, very special price point. Very special configuration. There should be no more excuses for the wrinkly skin, the saggy skin, that crepey skin. Truly, we could get rid of it. I find that this is what I do, and this has really been a game changer. I shared with you guys before, and I'm going to do this right now live. Sitting on my chair. You can see my belly? Look at that. Absolutely all of the wrinkly bits are gone. All of that is gone. It was like spongy. And you can go, and here's the thing. How did I do it? Spicules first. I take the body, okay, this is how I do it. Take the spicule, so it's the spicule and the collagen. Put the spicules on. Why? Because the spicules are going to create those microchannels, and then I put the Matrixyl collagen peptide body cream. Then I put that on. I put a little bit of that on, and then I put it up on top. I put the two together. Why? I'll tell you why. I never really had a problem with stretch marks or anything like that on my skin because I'm using Isomers skincare, like really. But aging has done something, and I've gained and lost a lot of weight. I was on prednisone for a long time, and that does a lot on you. Aging, so I haven't been exercising as much as I should, right? So I started to do, and I used to do a lot of gymnastics when I was a young girl. So I'm bringing this all into kind of stuff I like to do, which is like flip around, gymnastic style, do all that kind of, aerobic kind, aerobatic, not necessarily aerobic, but I used to always think of myself as a budding gymnast, although I was an amazing volleyball player. Anyway, so if I get on all fours, I would look down, and my skin, my first skin used to be nice and firm and everything. Then I would get on all fours. All of a sudden, it's like this different world of skin. It's like Sharpay City, falling forward. Nothing in there, just all this extra skin. And I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? Like, what am I going to do? And if I went like this, there'd be no fat, but it was all this skin. And it wasn't moving. And it would make me feel terrible. And then I noticed here, my skin was not as bouncy as I like it to be. And I'm thinking, uh-oh, here's what's happening. Yes, I am my own donor, so I make 63-year-old collagen, so I need to amp up my matrixyl. But a lot of people that have more time than me and a lot more money than me, more opportunities as well, were going to their esthetician or personal trainer, or they were going to these spas, and they were getting microneedling done, they were getting thermage, they were getting their cool sculpt, they were doing all of this stuff to get it, and they were still seeing this problem though. Some of them actually not so great results. And I thought, I don't want to do that. That was not for me. I wasn't going to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars to get this thing done. Absolutely not. That would go against everything I believe in and everything that I was doing. I don't mind taking a workout class. I don't mind doing some yoga or Pilates or running, although running bores me. I can't do the running. Some weight training. I was having a hard time getting back into it, but I know my body needs to move. Your body needs to move. Our bodies need to move. And when we're not moving them, we're not stretching as much, we're not as flexible as we should be, and then our skin at the same time is not really getting the nutrients and what it needs. So I am using this, and I do have a good diet, right? And I have some bad habits, but not as many bad habits as most, or maybe more than some. But I guess my point is that I started to see that even with some good habits, I was starting to see my skin, the ideal skin, separating off the bone, really, and creating this crepey, extra skin. Where I can see also people with weight gain, weight loss, pregnancy, C-sections, surgeries, not very good mobility. It kind of just happens that this fabric that is our skin pulls up. This fabric that is our skin starts to just be extra. So it got me thinking, what if we started adding spicules? What if we started doing what those people go to the spa to do and spend $500 a shot? A six or 10 piece, 6 or 10 week program, right? They're spending a few $100s, then a few $1,000s because they have to get a program, because you can't do things once or twice. You have to do things. Notice how everything is 6 times, 12 times, or 8 times. You notice that? You have to do something for about a 10-week period, or you have to do it for 6 times in a row, wait a month, another 6 times in a row. Do you notice that? And do you notice by the end of all of this, it's going to be 6 months or a year, and you're going to be out $3,000 or $5,000 if you're lucky? And that doesn't include the time, and then the travel, and all the other arrangements that you have to make, like the hour before and the hour after, and then the tipping. You notice how all those programs are the same? And at the end of it, ask your girlfriends or ask yourself that you've done that a year later and you look back and you think, I did all this stuff, but it was really your exercising, your diet that probably did more for you. And your skin, is it there? So I did an experiment. I did an experiment on me. I took a before and after. I took a before. And I started using this. And I promised you guys, not doing any kind of other intervention, not doing anything crazy. I'm going to do it the lazy boat way. I'm going to do it very, very organically. So that, because for me, I need you to know what you can get at home by doing it as well. Just by doing it at the lowest level. Body spicules changed my skin. My boobs are perkier. My belly's flatter and smooth. I can't show you my boobs, but I can show you my belly. Look at that. Look at that. Nothing. Okay? Cellulite. Okay. My cellulite is one cellulote, I guess. I don't know. One cellulona, as you would call it. Here, I had one stubborn one on my thigh. Gone. Because I think I was able to break in with the spicules and create those microchannels, and this can go deeper into my skin. This can go deeper. This can create more of that energy and activity and new collagen, new elastin, and adding more of it, adding more of that younger collagen, creating that weave, creating that structure, and then creating now my skin. I don't have to wear Spanx because my skin has become the Spanx. Isn't that what we want? We want our skin to hold us together. Our skin is our wrapper. Our skin is our container. Our bones go in, our skeleton goes in, our fascia goes in, all of our liquids and organs go in, and our skin is our container. We don't always need to be a sloppy shopping bag. We can be a tight, firm container. We don't need to be like a plant where the container is a lot larger and we want the roots to grow into it. No. We need to be a contained container. And I really believe that. I really believe that with the new science and technology, you can get there. I also believe that a lot of people don't understand how to get there, and they're trying to just do it with one and not with the other. With one is good. This is good, but it's only going to get you so far. This is going to take it to the next level. This on its own creates a whole new channel, a whole new pathway, microneedling, increases absorption, is going to create the new collagen, works on the skin texture, improves it, makes it look amazing. But this is going to also be a great carrier for this today. If you could only choose one, you choose this. But why today when you get both? I like it when they say, would you take A or B? And I'm like, why is it there an or? What happens when you do an and? Many times you can't do an and. Many times it has to be either or because it's not affordable, it's not available, it's very exclusive. But this is why we like Shop HQ and Isomers Laboratories together. Put them together to get more. This microneedling, here's the funny part. We've been working with a lot of regulatory lately, and every time the spicules comes up, the first thing they want to say is, oh, don't forget, they create some microchannels, the first thing, even before the exfoliation or the strengthening or helping with the tone, create some microchannels, because that is important. Because when you create the microchannels, you're creating the pathways, you're cutting the roads. Can you imagine being in a jungle and you don't know which way to go because there's no road and you have to make your own road? Once you make a road, then people can follow you, and all of a sudden a trip that would take days or months can take hours, right? In your skin, the same thing. The microchannels creates a little road and carries with it the peptides, carries with it the supplies that your skin needs to be, oh, you know what I can feel right now? I can feel it working. I can feel the little microchannels. I can feel that energy. I can feel that integrity. I can feel it working. It feels really great. You know why? Because it feels like I'm doing, I feel like I'm being active. I think a lot of times we're a little bit too passive in our skincare. Currently using Vitamin Body Green, how do I add these in? Very good question, Sharon. What I would do is I would start with this. So before the vitamin C, spicule, then vitamin C. Now, you can do a vitamin C. So vitamin C is really good because that's going to be your brightening. It's going to be your antioxidant. Really good. It works really, really well with Matrixyl. So you can combine the two creams, or you could do one day, one the other. You could rotate. I would want to maybe combine the two if you want to be more tightening, firming, okay? If you really want to get into that. But you are going to have a benefit by rotating it also, by doing one day, one the other. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, vitamin C, the other days, Matrixyl. Awesome. You could do that as well. Or if you have a routine where you're putting body cream on twice a day, but I don't know if you do. If you do that, then that's an option. I would, after your shower is the best time to be doing it. Use the spicules first. You don't need a lot of spicule, right? Put the spicule on, put the cream on. Remember this, another thing you can do, Sharon, and I don't want to confuse you, but I'm just processing. I'm just thinking out loud, right? Hi, Deborah. Hi, Sharon also. I'm just thinking out loud. But another thing you can do is, and I'm thinking of activity now. So for me, the peptide is a higher hierarchy, is more important to me than the vitamin C, all right? Because the vitamin C is an antioxidant. It's going to be like a shield. It's a Superman here against free radicals. Whereas the messenger peptide is your technician. It's your worker going in there doing stuff, right? So it's almost like you're doing your lawn and you have the guy gardening and you have an umbrella. So you think of the vitamin C as your umbrella, but you need the gardener to go in there. So if that's by hierarchy, I would do spicule, Matrixyl body, then vitamin C on top if I needed more of a boost. Or vitamin C on days that I'm not using the spicule. That's how I would do it for optimum delivery. I hope I'm not confusing you. But I guess the long and the short is there really is no wrong way of using it. The thing is, oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you. I'm glad, you know, and experiment, right? Experiment. But I would always, for me, it's always about delivering the efficiency of the tool to the deepest layer. What we know now, and we love delivery systems, right? And we love repair, absolutely. But our formulas are getting more sophisticated. Our formulas at Isomers are getting more precise and strategic, more surgical, if you will, in the sense of how they are communicating. Science, even in the quiet, we are able to fine tune. It never sleeps. Like, it's not like you get this thing done once. We're always thinking about efficiencies, because if we can get to efficiencies faster, that means we can get to repair faster. That means we can get to regeneration more efficiently. And having said that, we want to get deeper into the skin or into the system, so that we're more at the beginning of something, not in the middle or the end of it. So if we can get ahead of it, if we can get it at the part where it's still in the earlier stages, there's more influence of those ingredients and of the technology than in the later stages, right? It's, you know how it is, like, I have 2 dogs. I have Tuxedo, who I've had since he was 8 weeks old or 6 weeks old. I got him really, really young. And then I have Lupo, who I got him at 2 years old. Tuxedo is much easier to train. because I got him earlier in the stage, right? Lupo is already more developed, and so he's been a little bit harder to train. And Lupo's very intelligent, and he's been a little bit harder to train. So he knows what to do. So my point is, when you go into the skin and the cell is earlier, younger in the stage, it's easier to influence it and to design it and grow it properly. Whereas when it's older, you got to go in, there's a lot of correction you got to do. There's a lot of other attention it needs. You got to start shaping it and making it a good candidate before you can then go in there, right? You got to create the right atmosphere before you can, so you got to fix a lot of things. You got to replace a lot of things. You got to work on a lot of things. Then you can go in and you can start growing it. This is why I think this is so great when you're combining the spicules with the body cream. And I know that Shop HQ has done an amazing price point. It is limited. It is for the weekend. You'll be able to get it up until Monday, but get it now. I don't think they have very many. We try to do the best we can to offer as many as you need. I don't like to limit it and say, you know what, it's just, but sometimes things are much more limited. So don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't wait for another day. This is the right time to do it. When you wait and when you procrastinate, and I am so guilty of that. I keep thinking, gotta wait for the right time. Maybe I need to do this first. Maybe I need to ask this question. Maybe I need to, and then later on, I forget what I was doing. I forget what I needed. I never got the thing resolved, and then I'm stuck. But all the things that I did in the moment that I actually picked up the phone or did that process, answered that email, did that routine, it's done. It's behind me now. It's like the other day when I went and I downloaded a Hatha yoga exercise, 30 minutes, beginner Hatha. I did it. And then first I thought, oh, this is going to be ridiculous. And I did it. You should have seen me walking later, 45 minutes, an hour later, coming back from my dog walk. I could feel I was taller. I could feel I was more elegant in my walk. I could feel that I was much more in there, not like Neanderthal me walking back and forth with my dogs. I was actually holding myself a little bit better. And that was all because I was in the moment and I did it. So all these things matter. How we treat ourselves, put ourselves first, take care of ourselves. At Isomers, what we can do, we can give you the information, we can give you the community, we can talk to you, I can answer all your questions. Great duo. I'm using glutathione serum between them. Yes! I love glutathione. Love. You know, the other day somebody was asking me, and they were 56 or 57 years old, and they were saying, this is my routine. And what am I missing? And I'm looking at it, and it's like, it was like glutathione. You had, it was the phytoestrogen, it was, you know, those elements, the exosomes, but there was no glutathione. You needed the master antioxidant. So yes, that works very, very well. And actually, Sharon, you've got the vitamin C, so you've got an antioxidant. With glutathione, another antioxidant. But I like the way you guys are thinking and are available and are ready. I want you to do some tests, because I also know that as we get older, I don't have it. And it's not because I did everything right. I have to admit, I don't have a lot of that perma burn that a lot of people do in this area for my age. It looks much better. It's because, and I'm just going to get on my suffering succotash, as Darius says, on my little soapbox. I was working so hard in the laboratory and stuff, and having to do a lot of things business related and then family related and then caring for my parents and whatnot, that I had almost, during daytime hours when the sun was out, I was usually indoors. So a lot of times my obligation, my responsibility saved me from having a lot of this damage. So I'm saying by the grace of what my responsibilities were, it kind of brought me into a position where I didn't have that. But I do see that as my skin is aging and changing, and it does happen. It doesn't respond always. And I'm not trying to hide anything in case anybody's thinking, are you wearing that to hide? No, I'm not. My skin is good for my age. This is really going to be helpful. Your skin is going to be great for your age. And having said that, skin for our age, we want, Everybody's talking about longevity now. Every one of you Isomer girls and boys have been part of a longevity mission for the last 30 years. You've been doing it for 3 decades. People are just catching up to your brilliance. People are just catching up to your insight, your brilliance, your trust, your fearlessness, your proudness for being able to trust and recognize and jump in and not be, just following the mainstream. We want to get older. We want to add big numbers to our numbers. Think of a big number, 3 of them maybe even. Go over the 3 digits. There's nothing wrong with those things. What we don't like is rotting, declining, breaking down, falling apart. People look for antiques. People look for vintage. But what do? They want it to look good. They want it to function. That's the same thing for us, right? We can do it. How do we do it? We have to understand the structure. You have to understand the structure, and you have to look at the pieces at a certain age and say what's missing, what needs to be replaced, what needs to be switched in and out. What is the piece that's missing? Does it need to be lubricated? Does it need to be fluffed up? Does it need to be restuffed? This is why we're going to lubricate, fluff up, and restuff, right? We're going to put it all together. This is a really great duo. I love the fact that we're putting it together. Use it on your legs. Really, truly on your legs. If you're getting the wiggly wobbly, if you have that hooded knee area, start with the spicules, then put the matrixal body on top. You will find that it goes in here, behind your arms. I use it all over the bust line, underneath the bust line as well, on the décolleté, absolutely, on the belly. Our bodies go through a lot. They go through a lot, and we don't necessarily give ourselves the time and the space to heal and to reset our nervous system and reset the communication. We keep a lot of that trauma in and we push things around, right? And I think that it's better if we breathe, and then just say, you know what? Here we go. And as you're doing it, breathe. As you're doing it, take a breath. You know why? Because the breathing will also... Remember all those burns I had on my arm? Remember all those burns I had on my arms? I love the collagen, the matrix. Okay, the spicule goes on, but to me the spicule just goes on, it absorbs into the skin. But oh my goodness, when I put the matrixal body on, look at that. I feel, I'm gonna stand up here. Sorry, Bubba. I feel more toned already, look at that. I feel that compared to there. So that's okay, but you see looks a little bit ashen. Look at here. Look at it, let's see what, look at that. I'm gonna do this because, show you. Put it back here too, right? Put it, here's a little more, look at that. We wanna put it on our skin. We wanna put it, and have it with you, make it available every single day. You're going to use this, your skin is going to love it, you are worth it. And when you're saving all this money, take that savings of money and put it away into something for your next gift for you. This is you being wise for you. This is whatever you saved should be yours to be able to bathe yourself again and reward yourself again later on. These are really good things. Be good to yourself. Be good to the container that is holding you. This is what people hug and hold and love and need. And they want you to be happy because they love to have you around. You have families and children and grandchildren and partners and community and your girlfriends and everything. You want to show up for them in a good container. And this will help keep your container good. Fabulous, Sharon. Anyways, thank you so much, everybody. If you have any more questions, please do it now. Do it now so that I can answer your questions. I'll be on for another minute or so. I hope this was interesting. Do you like this approach? Do you want me to just talk about the product, or you like the little, love that message? Oh, yes, 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 yes. This was great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I try to make it like real. I've come to realize that it's not just, I used to always just think, I got to educate, got to educate, got to educate. They got to know what's in my brain. They got to know the science. I want them to know the truth. I want to give you all the tools. But then I would be like, some people would be like, well, it really doesn't apply, or because I was, thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Sharon. Because I was like, not putting it, because I used to think, well, it's obvious they're gonna walk around every day and do this or do that. But then I also realized we all have different priorities and we're all at different spots. And sometimes we need somebody to just hold us back and just say, just hang on a second. Sit down. Take a breath. Right? That's really important. You know, my kids used to ask me questions. I would be working or I'd be doing something, and I love. I would do anything for my children. And I wish I had, 10 more. Like I just think they're the most wonderful thing. I think having children, I'm going to cry because I think having children is the best thing anybody could do. Anyway. And I feel bad about this now, but I think I understand. They would come and ask me stuff. And because my brain was working on something and I was kind of focused, and I am a unitasker. Like, I know how some people like to be multitaskers. I thought I was a multitasker. But I can't even work with music on. Like, I need to really focus, or else I have monkey mind. So they would ask me something, I would go, and then I would answer them. And they always said, Mom, you're always pissed off when we come and talk to you. You're always annoyed. And I'd be like, oh my God, I'm not annoyed at all. I'm so delighted that they come and talk to me. But I realized that because I wasn't kind to myself, I was so busy being of service and useful that I actually wasn't taking the time for myself. And my body, which is much smarter than me, was resetting my nervous system so I could talk to them properly. That breathing resets your nervous system. So I was just reading about it this morning. About the breathing and about the nervous system. And because I was looking on this app and somebody was saying, well, this is how you get your life back. And it was an ad. And I was like, I know these ads are baloney. So what are they really saying? So I went into my medical stacks and did a little bit of research on how is this app operating. I do a little bit of that, behind the scenes kind of looking stuff. And it talked about the vagus nerve, and your nervous system. And it talked about the importance of that exhale. Why? Because the inhale takes care of itself. We hold our breath when stuff is happening, and the inhale happens naturally. It's the exhale we have to actually work on. Exhale. And when you do the exhale, it helps reset. So, exhale. Get your phones. Type in Shop HQ. Order your spicules and your matrixyl. Then when you get it home, exhale. Open the package. Inhale. Breathe these in. And then exhale as you start taking this and putting it on your body, opening up those channels. Exhale. And then put on the matrixyl and know you are doing something wonderful for yourself. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a fantabulous weekend. Be good to yourself. You have until Monday, but don't wait, because you matter now. You don't matter. You're going to matter. You know what? We don't know how many Mondays we're going to have. But I know this, that when this Monday shows up, I want to look great. Don't want to be, well, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. What was that? People should all over themselves, right? You should all over yourself. And I think that is a really smart way of looking at it. This, for you. And all the hard work that you've done and all that you've given to this planet, let us give you some science that works back at an amazing saving with an amazing community and amazing people. Have a great weekend. Love you.